So there's one habit that if you're not doing, you will be crushed by someone who is doing it. And the habit is knowledge. Getting knowledge from the most potent source, which in my opinion is reading. Because if you're on if you're trying to get knowledge from TikTok, for example, and you're scrolling on short form videos and you're maybe seeing like 10 seconds of a clip, you're going on to the next one, you're not really diving deep into a specific topic that you're interested in. You're sort of like jack of all trades, master of none, even if you were seeing educational content. Reading, you can take a book. I like to read like on Kindle just because I think it's easier. You have a book and it's on a topic you're interested in and you can just go through it and you take a ton of lessons from this person who has success in the area. So you can basically take this person's mindset and this person's success and everything positive from them, and their success curve might have been learning it for, it could be 20 years that they spent learning this stuff. Learning that knowledge from a book just compresses it. So you can learn all their lessons and have a curve like this. You can do something similar from long form content, but I think like TikTok or like Instagram Reels or like YouTube Shorts or something like that, or like some of these like hyper edited videos of just like something that's not doesn't really have any substance. Maybe you'll get something, but it's not really like a specific video with specific like actionable things and mindsets and points and things like that. So yeah, the reason I say you will get crushed is because you don't know what you don't know. So there's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is basically you don't know what you don't know, and if you don't know what you don't know, you think you know a lot, so you're confident in your lack of knowledge. It's basically like, this would be like a graph. It looks like this, right? It looks like this, right? So there's confidence here. This side, like the y-axis, would be confidence, and this side is like how much you actually know. So in the very beginning, when you're first getting into understanding a subject, you think you know a ton of it. That's like the Dunning-Kruger effect. The complete dumbass who like has no clue what's going on has like elite confidence, like way more confidence than these people. And as you realize, you'll be like, oh shit, I don't know anything. And then eventually, as you start to actually understand it, it'll get back to here. And this is what happens with a lot of books. Like, you'll be reading something and you'll think, okay, so there's this book about like habits or whatever. It's like, okay, I know habits, so you just do the thing. That's like just something you do every day, right? And then you're like, that's easy. I don't need to read a book about it. But if you actually get into reading a book about it, you'll be like, oh shit, I don't know anything about this. There's so much I can learn from it. And then eventually you get to here if you read the book a few times and implement it, right? So one reason people can't actually, why I have to give this advice? 50 years ago, I wouldn't have to give this advice. This video would be useless 50 years ago because people they read the newspaper, they read books. It was a normal activity. But nowadays, with the internet and just how much like overstimulation and hyper stimulation there is, people's people's attention spans have just been completely fried, like just completely gone, to the point where most people, if you take someone who spends a lot of time on the internet, and you tell them to like read, like read a page, like just a page in a book, like, okay, here's a page, like just like, a page in a book like this, they will like get like, and I had this experience too when I first started trying to read and when I was like doing stuff. It would be like you get like 3 lines and you're like having other thoughts, you're like thinking about other things. You get like the fourth line, you're like, how the hell am I gonna do this? And you literally like put the book down. It's actually sad because you can get so much from it, but yeah. um so knowledge in and of itself is an extremely valuable investment, because people who know more than you can explain stuff to you and just help you progress so much faster than just going at it alone, just with complete random action. Just like, hard work, and just even if you did like the most effortful, hardest work in the direction you absolutely thought was the best for your growth, you don't know what you don't know. So you probably, if you haven't like learned about this stuff, you probably are doing the hard work in the wrong direction, which is not really going to translate to success. But if you know exactly what to do, exactly what to put the hard work into, then you can do the hard work and in the right direction, and it translates to success. So it's a great deal. Now, one thing is like books, people, I don't know, I think it's important to decrease the steps of like resistance from your activity of choice. This is like a lesson from habits and things like that. If you're constantly making it difficult for yourself to do something, like let's say you wanted to start let's think of like a random example. You wanted to start wearing you want to start wearing khakis because you thought like, okay, this makes me look really professional, so like that's a good thing to do. But if you put your khakis, let's say, upstairs in your closet upstairs, then it's gonna be a step. It's gonna be like more difficult for you to go get the khakis, go all the way upstairs and put them, come back down, put them on, versus if you were to put your khakis, in front of you on your desk or on the top of your like what's this thing called, the dresser? Like yeah, the dresser, right? Then you just see it, you get the cue, you'd be able to pick it up. There's low friction. You put on your khakis. Just a random example. I don't know why I chose khakis, but so you get the point. You can do the same thing with reading in order to get the actionable step out of this video and actually do it. Is if you're someone who likes books, like you like the physical, you like the hard copy or the paperback or whatever, you like reading, you like the feel of like turning the pages, it's like nice and stuff like that. That's great. But personally, I think one thing that helped get me into reading and how I actually started reading and not just like thinking about starting reading, right, is getting a Kindle. Like, because, hear me out, right? This is not like a Kindle ad, but if you have all your books in one place, and if you want a book, if you think a book is interesting, you just click buy. It's cheaper, you don't have to wait all the time. You don't have to like deal with any of the like annoyances of, personally I don't really like holding the book. I'm always like sitting like, if I'm holding the book I'll always be like sitting all fucking like this or something, and I'm like, my arm's getting tired and it's just like a nightmare. So for it's kind of like pussy, but a Kindle's easier because you just tap it. You want a book, you can just click it. If you want to change books, you just go back and then just click the book you want. It's much simpler, excuse me. And just in the long term, the like cost to benefit for your life is definitely worth it. Like, this is probably one of my best purchases ever, is the Kindle, because the Kindle and the books on it, which is a result of getting it. This has just become like a Kindle ad. I mean, I'm not really trying to be a Kindle ad, but it's what helped me, so I want to help you. I would say get the one that's like, I think it's like $100 on Amazon or something like that. It's definitely worth it. You can like sleep on it and make sure you can weigh the pros and cons, make your own decision. Don't just listen to me blindly. But I would say if you're sort of like on the fence, just go for it and invest in right away when you first get it. When it first comes, just get like 3 books you're interested in. Get like, The Way of the Superior Man, Atomic Habits, and like 100 Million Offers or something like that, or whatever. Just something you're interested in so you can get in the habit and start reading. And once you do that, you'll build the habit. It'll be easier to start reading, and if you couple this with taking a step back from instant gratification and all this overstimulation, you'll find it easier to read, you'll find it fun to read, and you'll actually get something from the reading. So it's like a great deal in general. Alright, so if you need any help with anything in particular, anything you're struggling with, any addictions, any problems with weightlifting, any just any issue that's your mindset, anything like that, there's one-on-one coaching down below. Click the first link in the description. So yeah, I hope everyone is having a good day, or has had a good day, and yeah, have a good one. Peace.